Hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Abby and I am a spiritual intuitive, and today's video is part 2 of my chakras series. And today we are diving into one of the most emotionally rich of the chakras, the sacral chakra. This energy center is all about emotions, pleasure, boundaries, and creativity. But for a lot of us, especially if we grew up in emotionally rigid environments, this chakra becomes blocked. So if you ever felt disconnected from your emotions, guilty about wanting joy, or stuck in people pleasing, this video is for you. So let's start with the basics. The sacral chakra is located in your lower abdomen, just below your navel. It's associated with the color orange and the element water, so think flow, movement, emotion, and adaptability. This chakra governs emotional expression and connection, sensuality, sexuality, and pleasure, boundaries, and relationships. When it's balanced, you feel emotionally alive and connected to your desires. You can enjoy beauty, intimacy, pleasure without shame. But on the flip side, when it's blocked, it shows up as emotional numbness, pain, or people-pleasing. This chakra develops around the ages 7 to 14. This is the stage where we start to understand relationships, emotional expression, and our bodies. So if you grew up in a home where emotions were shut down, affection was non-existent or limited, where pleasure and expression was treated as a weakness or sin, the sacral chakra adapts, and the way that it does that is by shutting down or becoming blocked. Let me give you an example. Picture a child that falls and starts crying, like any normal kid would. But rather than being comforted, they get spanked, which is a form of abuse, and they're told, stop crying, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about. In the moment that they're told that, the nervous system learns emotions aren't safe. If I express pain, I get punished. To be loved, I have to shut down. So that child learns to suppress their emotions. They stop asking for comfort. They learn to read the room to keep the peace and avoid conflict. They become the easy kid, the helper, the overachiever, the one that takes care of everyone else. But inside, they're disconnected from their own needs and feelings. That is how people-pleasing is born. It's a survival mechanism, not a personality trait. And that protective pattern lives in the sacral chakra. Other examples would be if your parents were venting to you as if you were an adult, which would make you as a child feel responsible for their emotions and would create a feeling of lack of safety in the home. So again, taking on responsibilities on an emotional level of an adult. Although the parent may think, well, I'm venting to my kid, we're just being close, this is normal. It's not normal. And what they're really doing is stealing that child's feeling of safety, making them carry the weight of their emotions, which will likely carry through into their adulthood. Speaking of that, let's talk about how this shows up later in life. You might feel numb or emotionally overwhelmed. You struggle to ask for what you need. You feel shame or guilt for wanting pleasure, rest, or affection. In relationships, you might overgive to feel loved, people-pleasing. You avoid intimacy because it doesn't feel safe. Or you might attract partners that drain you, or you shut down completely. Physically, you might notice pelvic tension, lower back pain, hormonal issues. Basically, this is the chakra where we carry all of that emotional confusion and change that we did not know what to do with as a child. I want to add that any intimate experience that was inappropriate could also create an imbalance in this chakra, whether it was with your parent or an adult figure in your life. At its root, the wound of this chakra is a feeling that it's not okay to want and it's not okay to feel. This turns into guilt around pleasure, shame around emotional needs, or feeling that being fully seen can lead to rejection. So we'll shut down, we'll perform, we give love to get love, or we disconnect from our joy because we have this belief and we were told that it made us selfish or needy. But when this chakra is balanced, everything softens. You feel emotionally connected and grounded. You enjoy beauty, intimacy, creativity. Not to prove anything, just because it brings you joy and happiness. You say yes to joy for yourself and without shame. You feel safe in your body and you feel like you belong to yourself. Now let's talk about healing the sacral chakra. Here are a few ways you can begin to gently reconnect with yourself. Number 1 is emotional processing. So that looks like journaling, therapy, or somatic practices like breath work and movement. You want to connect with the flow and you want that life force energy to flow through you. Because when this energy is blocked, it's almost like you're frozen. So you want to unblock this energy through movement, flow, connecting with water, yoga, dance, anything that will spark creativity. While journaling, you can ask yourself, what was I not allowed to feel growing up? Number 2 is experiencing pleasure without guilt. Reclaim everyday small pleasures, all right? So that looks like a warm bath. Like I said before, slow dancing, listening to your favorite music, enjoying good food, guilt-free. Let yourself feel good without needing a reason. Number 3 is boundary work. Start noticing when you say yes when you mean no. When someone crosses your boundary and to avoid conflict, you comply and allow. When you want to say no, but you say yes because you don't want that person to be upset with you. Practice naming your needs, even when it feels uncomfortable. Number 4 is creative expression. Again, connecting to that flow, whether you like to paint, sing, or dance. Not for perfection, just because you enjoy it, because you love it, because it's fun. That helps open up the creative flow that this chakra needs. Even one small step matters. One act of expression, one boundary, allowing yourself to experience joy guilt-free. Over time, it adds up. Great affirmations for this chakra are: I'm allowed to feel. I'm deserving of joy. I am safe in my emotions and my body. This is something that you can repeat during meditation, but you really do have to take action. So those little acts of putting yourself first, setting that boundary, dance, expression, creativity, those are more important, because that act of taking action is what's going to create that flow. Connecting to that flow that will help balance the energy in this chakra. The truth is that people-pleasing, emotional suppression, and guilt around joy are not flaws. These are just survival mechanisms. But you're not stuck there. Healing the sacral chakra is about gently reclaiming what has always been yours. Your feelings, your joy, and your wholeness. So that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, like this video, share it with a friend, leave a comment below if you have a question or any video ideas you want to share. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.